What's going on, my YouTube brethrens? Hope you're winning the race in the cyberspace. Hope you're keeping it fair all in the air. I hope you're succeeding while you're breathing. I don't know. I'm gonna quit doing rhyming shit now and just get into the video. This will be a follow-up to my branded Fiendsmith deck profile that I did recently. It's going to be a couple little combo guides. We're doing some combo guides. People always talk about combo guides. I can't afford the combo guide. Well, the combo guide here is going to be free. I'm going to teach you the very basics of everything you got to know, and then we're going to move forward from there. If you watched the deck profile video, had said the deck doesn't really have a one card combo. That's not entirely true. I more so said that because the deck is more so about the combinations of cards that your hand gets. We will do test hands in a different video, but for now I'm going to show off some of the actual more important information you need to know when you're piloting a deck like this. When I said there are no one card combos, I lied, because the probably most expensive card in the deck does one card combo. And I'll show you that, how it one card gets you branded and Fiendsmith, both of them. But first thing I'm going to do is show you the very famous one card Archlord Christia line that every branded player should know. Thing's going to get banned. So, what you're going to want to do for the Archlord Christia lock, you're going to want to start by using Albaz's effect to special summon himself. What we're going to do is we're going to send this Albion. Then he gets special summoned. And we're going to use his effect. We're going to get the Ecclesia. This is standard, very standard. We're going to tribute for the Golden Sword Soul, because then that's when we're going to do our synchro for the Ecclesia. The level 4 and the level 4 tuner. Now we're going to use its effect to banish and then special summon Quem. Like I said in the previous actual deck profile video when we were doing that combo guide, we're going to be doing what I'm calling the Kali Sword Soul line, where we chain 1 the Golden Sword Soul, and then we chain 2 the Quem to dump the Cartesia. Then on the resolution, the Sword Soul will special summon back the Cartesia. And so from here, you use Cartesia's effect to fuse them into this Grand Guignol. And then Grand Guignol will send, where is it? Archlord Christia. Now that's literally just off of the one card you had in your hand. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to roll over into the end phase. In the end phase, we're going to do Albion to get the Fallen and the Virtuous. You could add it to your hand, but we will set it. Then we will get back the Ecclesia. And then that will just, we'll get Cartesia back too. And that will just be our turn. That will simply be the turn. Because in the opponent's draw phase, what we're going to do is we're going to flip this Fallen and the Virtuous, target the Christia, and special summon it. That's an error. You do that, you're kind of a dummy. What you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to play normally. Like, okay, let's do that. Just tribute this, special summon this back, tribute it, get the elbows. And then after you've kind of fed them some yarn, that's when you flip this. Or in response to an effect that summons, that's when you use the lock. and then on the resolution, they can't do the summon. Or if you're playing against Canine, you see they got the 2 on the field, that's when you do it. Because they're about to fucking exceed summon. So that's when you gotta stop it. You don't just shotgun it right away, hoping everything goes alright, because that's when things don't work. But that's if you are, in my opinion, going into round 1 and you're actually trying to clear. Make sure you have time to actually win the game. Time rules have changed. You can't cheese it the same way you used to. So you gotta get that first round win out of the way quick. That way you have all the time in the world for the next 2 games. But we're going to wind this back and we're going to talk about how this will branded Fiendsmith. Instead of using his effect to special summon from the hand, we're simply going to normal summon him. Because if you use his effect in the hand, you are locked into level 8 synchros and fusions. If you use that effect to special summon, you're locked. But if you normal summon, you're free. So now that we've normal summoned, we can use his effect, special summon, go through that whole same song and dance like we did earlier. If you were watching earlier, you're going to know what I'm doing. So now we're at this point. We got back to this point. What you're actually going to do is, instead of making Grand Guignol, you're going to make Despian Queritus. Because Quem is a Despia monster, and then you got your light monster being Cartesia. Then from there, he is a light fiend. That's a bridge into you know what? The Fiendsmith. He's back. And then, no, not that. We want to get the Lacrima, and then she sends the Fiendsmith on the summon. So basically what happened is, since he's a light fiend, he fits the requirements to special summon this monster using him as material, this Requiem. And I'm going to explain this because some people aren't entirely familiar. And then he has an effect, you tribute him, and then get one of the main monsters of that archetype. And this one, Lacrima, will send this Fiendsmith guy to the graveyard. And then from there, we can use the Fiendsmith to return this Despian Queritus, because again, he's a light fiend, and that's what he cares about, the Fiendsmith, to get him on the field. And then we can do the link to into the Fiendsmith sequence. And we can use sequence, spin back these 3. Suboptimal, I know, but you literally started with 1 card. And then we get Desiree, which is the boss monster. But if he's the boss monster, where are we going to use him and the other guy to link climb, link 3, into Agnamunde, so that we can target him, bring him back to the field, and then we'll equip and equip. Now, in the end phase, we'll get back both of the Incredible Ecclesia and the Cartesia, because I'm pretty sure this will special summon from the hand too. Oh, from the deck or graveyard. Yeah, no, we don't really care about that anyways. Because what our plan is we got them up now. We basically got the Fiendsmith with his materials, and then we've got the Ecclesia to respond to whatever monsters that you can use Albaz to fuse with. So we'll tribute that off, or banish it off. get Albaz, and we will assume that we're playing against Canine. They have a Jackal and an Azuna. That's a dark and an effect. So now we're going to discard the Incredible Ecclesia for the cost for the Albaz. And then we're going to fuse with both of their monsters into the Dragon that Devours the Dogma. Don't put him in the Link Monster Zone, by the way. That's a very common misplay I make that really costs me games sometimes. Never play a fusion monster that you want to keep in the Link Monster Zone, because you need that for linking on your next turn. Because when they see this, they're definitely going to prioritize dealing with this. But he's invincible. So you're sitting pretty. So that is how you bridge from your branded with the new cards into your Fiendsmith. I just gotta put my extra deck somewhere else for the remainder of this, because I keep grabbing my extra deck thinking it's my main deck, and I keep grabbing my main deck thinking it's my extra deck. So what happens when we add a Bestial to the mix instead of the Fiendsmith stuff? This is something else important you're going to want to know. This is why I play the Bestials. So we're going to use the Bestial Lubellion, discard him, and we're going to get Magnamute, because why not? And then we are going to normal summon this Quem. This is if you have Quem and a Bestial. If you have a Bestial and high spirits, that's kind of like not as good to get to Quem. But we will assume we had Quem and Bestial Lubellion, which is realistic because we're playing 3 copies of each. So we discarded Lubellion to search Magnamute. And now we normal summon the Quem. Use Quem to dump Albaz. We're going to use the Magnamute to banish the Albaz. To special summon. Trigger him for later, obviously. And now we are going to synchro these into Dispatter. And we'll use Dispatter to target the Albaz and special summon it back. Then we trigger the Albaz. So this is another interesting combo line to get around that fusion lock, or that fusion and synchro lock, that level lock. Now we'll tribute this for this, go these guys, and we are going to get the Ecclesia out. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to freeze frame and go back to the fact that we have the very first bottom card in our graveyard, Bestial Lubellion. We're going to tribute over, and we're going to attempt to use his effect. What we are going to set is Branded Regained. And that will come up in a bit. But the first thing about Branded Regained is you're going to use the Ecclesia's effect next. And rather than special summoning Quem like you normally would, you're going to special summon Cartesia. And now that is because you have still met the requirement to trigger the Golden Sword Soul to banish and then bring back the Quem. Because it's still the same requirements as the Cartesia and as the Incredible Ecclesia for the Golden Sword Soul. So then we're going to special summon her back out. We already used her first effect, but we still got the second effect that we can play with. So what we want to do now is trigger Regained, return him, get a new card. but we're going off of just the fixed variables, not the non-fixed variables. So what we're going to do here is we're going to synchro these into Despian Lulu-Lilith, because you need a level 4 tuner and a non-tuner, or 1 plus non-tuners. That will trigger this Quem to special summon back this Cartesia. And then we can do the fusion. We'll do Despian Queritus so that we can go back into our Fiendsmith line. And we'll just try and go through the Fiendsmith line pretty swift because you kind of just seen me over explain it. Do Lacrima to send the Fiendsmith. Do Fiendsmith, send back the Queritus. We'll link these guys. Use his effect to fuse these guys. For Desiree. Do the thing. The Egg and the Monday thing. Get him there off of his effect. Equipped. Equipped. So now, when we roll over to the end phase, what we got cooking is just a little bit more than we did before. We'll still get back the incredible Ecclesia. We'll put that there, just a little bit within frame. We'll get still the Cartesia and the incredible Ecclesia back to hand. And then we'll do the Magnamut search. We're probably going to most benefit off of getting the Serenir for the interruption, assuming they're on a light and dark base deck. So in the opponent's turn, what we've got is the Lulu-Lilith can negate a monster when another card leaves the extra deck. So if they link summon something or exceed summon something, that can target to negate it, or non-target negate it, and then boost all your monsters 500 points. And remember that when you're doing your Fiendsmith calculations with people, because right now he's at 58, but when you do that, he's going to be at 63, which actually do come up. It makes a lot of other variables a lot easier to play in. You'll get the Ecclesia to do the same banished special summon, the Albaz thing it did before. Fiendsmith is Fiendsmith, obviously. But you also have the second thing about Branded Regame that I was going to circle back to. Its effect is when your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can special summon a bestial monster from your graveyard. You can't do that with Lubellion, but you can do that with every other bestial, including the boss monster. So we get back Dispatter as well. So assuming we did Dispatter before the Lulu-Lilith, we got a 4,000 Dispatter with a 50-something attack, or 6,300 Fiendsmith, and then we'll probably get either Mirror Jade or Dragon that Devours the Dogma off that. We got Bestial Serenir in the hand. That's looking pretty stellar. Like, this is a very difficult thing to deal with, in my own opinion. I'm just going to put these right here so people know that that's what you got. And that's kind of just when you add 2 cards together in your hand out of your deck. 2 cards. Got you this full board. You have another 3 cards, brother. 3 more cards, brother. It could be anything that helps you combo. And speaking of which, I just got to do test hands next. I think I've just been rambling on. I think you get the point. There's just a lot of good stuff in here. And some stuff I should let you find out on your own. Like, I was pretty low-key impressed when I seen a different branded Fiendsmith video. And I'm like, okay, we're taking off. People are starting to realize. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next one is going to be the actual test hands. So, you know how 48 can be more consistent, if not just as consistent as 40, if you know what you're doing. But peace out for now.